Hello one and all, this is Hybridsteel. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. Today we're going to be talking about Genesis, which is a brand new MOBA that is launched on PS4, and it's going to be honest, it's bloody good. Right, so without further ado, let's get it on, shall we? Genesis is an action-packed classic MOBA focusing competitive 5 vs 5 online play for control of the battlefield. Themed around a futuristic sci-fi setting, Genesis will offer a rich roster of 28 original heroes, as well as various skins, weapons and other cosmetics for players to choose from. Core gameplay will include a competitive PvP mode, as well as a single-player and co-op PvE conquest mode for players to enjoy. Developed by Rampage Games, the game is incredibly well received by players in the American and Europe section. Rightio, so Genesis, a MOBA, which, going to be honest, is a little bit rare when it comes to a console build. Now, I know a lot of you are going, well, it's free to play, there's going to be some sort of catch, and there is. And in fairness, this is the catch. The catch is that a lot of the characters are basically locked off behind the in-game currency paywall. Now, what you have to do is you have to earn enough currency in-game to earn the characters that you really want to play as. Some of the characters are locked behind a currency that you physically have to buy premium for. So it is free to a point. Obviously, because it's a free game, they want to make a little bit of money, and if you're going to be one of these people who plays this game an awful lot, you're going to probably invest a little bit into it to have your favourite character, to boost up as much as you can and customise as best you can as well. The downside to this game that I actually found, and it was one thing that niggled me very, very quickly, was the actual running speed of the character. The running speed is very slow, but it doesn't feel like you're going too fast, and then all of a sudden you look on the map and you're halfway across, so it sort of levels itself out. The maps don't feel massive, but they feel big enough so it actually feels like you're having to run a really long way, obviously because of the pace of the character. Now, much like every other MOBA, you have a choice of a lot of characters. You have to choose the specific abilities that you're going to focus on and how your gameplay is really managed. Now, obviously, with all others, we're all going to be focusing on like tank, or are we going to be focusing on damage, or are we going to be focusing like melee? It's depending on your level of style, it's depending on which character you're going to choose. You start off with this guy, the guy with the bow and arrow, and everybody has the same character. If you play against the AI, you play for currency, you get the in-game currency, you can change your character very, very quickly. Now, I haven't done that just yet, and the reason why is because I'm sort of building up. I want to save up for someone like who's going to suit my gameplay needs, which is why I'm sort of giving all the freebie goes a little go to start with, and then I'll sort of decide on what sort of character I want to play as and who I want to be as. When it came to Paragon, I decided that I wanted to play as one of two characters. I either played as a tank character, the big guy who just punched everything to death, or I'd play as the guy with the big sword and I'd just sort of like melee my way through walls and walls of minions. And that was literally how I used to play. I had two different ways. It was that way or this way. Now with this, there are 28 different characters, which means you've got a huge variety of what you want to play as. The levels themselves, if you've ever seen League of Legends or Paragon or any other MOBA that's out there, you'll know the basic setup. One base at the top left, one base in the bottom right, and then from there you have a little bit of a fight. You have got little certain points all the way across the map, and it does have a quick teleport system for you to go from the hub all the way up to a certain point, depending on where the enemies are coming from and where you're all getting attacked from. Now, much the side with all other MOBAs, it's very simple. There's your base, run to the point, take out next point, take out main base. That's pretty much what you're aiming for. The plus side to this game is it's very simple, very easy to pick up and play, and actually doesn't have as much of a complicated system as it did with Paragon. Obviously they tried to simplify that later on, but you know, we saw how that went for them. The system for this is basically as you level up, you get different things. You're earning coins the whole time, and you've got two ways of doing this. You can either do it like this, which is basically where you go into the shop, choose an ability you want, or you have it actually pop up on the screen to what they think you actually want. It makes the gameplay a little bit faster. Also, if you do it that way, the game sort of goes, well, you're this sort of character, we want you to have this sort of ability, it will help you out the most, which is quite nice and generous at the same time. So, again, much like other MOBAs, these games are huge when it comes to time consumption. An average match will take you anywhere between 20 and 40 minutes, depending on your team and the other team and who's got the biggest numbers. When it comes to the biggest numbers, that comes down to your abilities, and then that comes down to how hard you're going to get hit by the other people. It does come with a little bit of a strategy. You know, if certain people direct off one way, you can go off the other and sort of sneak round the back and take a quick, like, you know, See if you can get in there quick enough and take them out faster than normal. And we've done this in a couple of games when it came to Paragon, when it came to League of Legends, and when it came to Smite as well. We tried the same very similar thing, and it always worked. You just sort of decoy yourself out, and hopefully someone doesn't notice one bloke sneaking around the back. Again, one thing that always sort of happens in these sort of games. So aside the microtransactions, with the fact that yes, there are microtransactions in this game, you're never going to be able to avoid them. It's a free-to-play game, but this is one of those games that if you're going to dedicate your time to, you're going to invest your money in. And I've got no problems with this because this is something that you're going to be doing. Now, obviously, because this is free, they're not going to make any money. If they add microtransactions, people are going to get pissed off, which is sort of normal when it comes to doing like games like this. But the plus side to it is that you can afford as much as you want or as little as you want. You don't have to pay for anything. You can just earn it over time, apart from obviously the premium people. Now, people will get annoyed the fact there are microtransactions in this game. But how is a studio to make money if they're not charging anything for the game itself? So games like this, when they put in microtransactions, don't annoy me so much. It's when they start taking the mickey just a bit. When they take a microtransaction and put it in a £60 game, and then you have this, and then you have this, and then you have DLC, and you have all these extra bits and pieces that basically just make you spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on a game that you're not really fussed about. If you're into MOBAs and you really want to play this game, really play it, because it is actually weirdly addictive. I would put this around the same sort of sizes as like League of Legends and Smite, because at the end of the day it's exactly the same sort of gameplay, just different characters. That's pretty much the only real major difference. So coming up with unique characters for this game must have been a big chore, because there's quite a lot of characters. They had to make them all variously different. So you've got almost like gods, you've got like cartoon anime style characters in the shape of Chris, and then you've got all the other characters that have got a good imagination and a good design behind them. Each one uses the different elements and everyone uses different abilities, so you're never going to have the same character doing the same thing as someone else. You're going to have like your way of playing, and that's the plus side to this game. Because of the amount of choice and the variation between the characters and abilities, you're never really going to match up against somebody else who's going to be using exactly the same set as you, because you're going to be doing it your way. It's all good. So, thank you very much for joining me in this video. This is Genesis for the PlayStation 4, and it's free to play right now. Don't forget, it is a MOBA, so it will take time and effort to go through, learn, and find your way of playing. But thank you very much for joining me. This has been Hybridsteel, and until my next video, live stream, or whatever else I do on this channel, peace out, have fun, and enjoy everything you guys do, and I'll see you all later on. Bye-bye.